Hey, what's going on everybody? This is Deadly, and today is going to be a video specifically for some new survivors. So if you're an experienced DayZ player, you may want to skip this one. I see so many people coming into my live stream and in the YouTube comments complain about them dying from hypothermia in patch 0.61. And I can't really wrap my head around this, why so many people seem to be killed. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to avoid hypothermia from the rain, or just try to explain how it actually works so you can avoid it, so you don't have to die in such a really easy and basic way. So to start things off, we're going to be getting ourselves drenched, which would typically happen whenever it's raining, but I can't seem to find a server that's actually raining right now. But it doesn't really matter how you get drenched. It all affects your character in the exact same way. The only thing that's different between getting drenched in the rain is you're going to remain drenched for much longer than me just leaving the water. I will slowly, over time, lose my drenched status, but not before you start to get cold and freeze and get hypothermia. So this is a good example, so it won't be much different. So we got nothing. We got no matches. We got no wood supplies. If it's not raining and you're just drenched and you just have hypothermia, let's say it just rained and the rain just stopped, then this is how you're going to fix it. You want to find a stone or get a knife. So if you don't have an axe or a sharp object that can collect sticks and bark, you're going to want a stone. So if you don't have a knife, find a stone pile. Get a stone. Now this can take some time, but I guarantee you that it will be faster than you dying of hypothermia. So as soon as you start to see that freezing status, you're going to want to start picking a stone if you don't have any other options to cut. Now you can cut branches with a lot of different things. For example, the hatchet, the splitting axe, and the fire axe can all collect bark. All of the knives in the game can do it as well. So all you need is one of those two items. See, we're already cold. It really doesn't take that long to set in after you get drenched. That is the most important thing, is whenever you're drenched, you sort of need to start to think about what you're going to do about this problem, because it doesn't take very long. And for those that are still playing on experimental branch, you get hypothermia below 34.6 degrees. So that moment that you go below that is whenever you start to get hypothermia. All right, now that we have a knife, an improvised knife, you're going to want to go and collect 2 pieces of bark. And you can do that. You want brown bark, so you don't want to go to a birch tree. If you're probably wondering what's the difference between a regular tree and a birch tree, some trees down there, I don't think there's actually no birches here, but basically the white bark is birch, the brown bark is regular bark. So we can actually use birch bark for getting a fire started, but you can't use it to create a hand drill. The branch you can actually use if you don't have any bushes around and you're looking for sticks, then you can actually just collect branches and then split them into thirds. Okay, now that we have 2 pieces of bark, I'm actually just gonna make this an armband. The next thing that you want to do is get some sticks, and you can do that, like I just said, with a long wooden branch, or you can find bushes. And most bushes in the game can be cut down, if not all of them, to chop sticks. And we can create a stack of 5. I highly recommend making a stack of 5. You got to figure out where to go. If it's going to be raining, you want to find some place indoors that can actually light fires, but we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. But for us, since we're actually out and it's actually not raining, we can just get this fire going right away. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a nice little spot here. We're going to create the fireplace, and then we're also going to create a hand drill, and we're going to stack the wooden sticks over here. Take the hand drill in our hands, and you want to ignite the fire. Now, if you're really desperate and you're super low, we're actually freezing, so this is working out quite nicely. Now, if you're like hypothermia and you're about to die, take off your clothes. So you see, it will just immediately start dropping your drenched status. But I highly recommend keeping your clothes on, because you want to make sure that you dry out your clothes, because the thing that's killing you isn't the air temperature, it's your soaked clothing. So that is your goal. Like, some people have been complaining that heat packs don't do anything. Well, heat packs don't really do anything if you're soaked or drenched, because it's just going to be negating some of the effects, some of the temperature loss from when it's raining outside. So if you wanted to use heat packs, wait until your clothes are all completely dry, and then once you're completely dry, then turn on the heat pack, and that will actually help out. Or wait until you're like damp or something like that. And once you're in this status, you're pretty much out of danger, and turn on the heat pack to increase the amount of heat that you regenerate. Now, if you're also in a rush to meet up with your friends, all you really need to do is get rid of the drenched status, because that's the only thing that's affecting you. So that's it. Even if you're cold or even if you're freezing, if you need to get out for a PvP situation, don't worry, you're fine. Just make sure that you're not soaked. Okay, now let's just assume that it's raining outside and we can't make a fire outdoors. Some of the best places to go is actually industrial sheds. Most of these very large buildings you can create fires in. Also, the civilian barracks or the civilian hangars are also really good. Those are those big buildings with the blue doors. Inside of churches also work, so make sure that you give that a try. And any object that's going to be blocking the rain from the fire itself, like on top of gas station covers and other industrial areas in the game. There's so many different buildings that you can create fires, so I can't cover every single one of them. And the last thing you need to know about surviving hypothermia is there are also different buildings in the game that you are able to create fires inside of the chimneys. However, as of stable branch 0.61 on January 2nd, 2017, you cannot create fires in those buildings. And those are the small single-story red building, the small single-story green building, and the green double mustache house. And probably the rest of the stoves that are in the game too. So just be very careful about that. Some of them might work at times, but just go for those industrial buildings if you're scared about losing your character because of things being a little, well, not working correctly. Well, I can't believe I just spent 7 minutes talking about hypothermia, but we just did. So that's about it. You don't need matches. You can use matches, but if making a hand drill is so easy right now, it's not really a big deal. You can only really make a hand drill whenever you need it and toss it if you don't. So hope you guys will survive. If this has helped anybody, let me know in the comment section below. Share this with your friends the next time that you've heard that they've died from hypothermia, and I'll see you guys in the wasteland. Happy surviving. And also check out the live stream every single morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A link to that is in the description box below.